Hello and welcome to EBAday 2025 in Paris. Joining me in the studio away from the busy event is Craig Ramsey, Head of Account-to-Account Payments at ACI Worldwide. Craig, great to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Lovely to see you, Hannah. Thanks very much for having me.
And it has been a very busy EBA day. I know you've just stepped off an exciting panel where you touched on account-to-account payments, and that's where I want to begin our discussion. Tell us, where are we up to with account-to-account payments, and also what's driving the growth in this space?
Account-to-account payments, let's start by defining that. So it's SWIFT payments, that's cross-border payments, it's RTGS payments, Target 2 for example, Euro 1 as well, it's ACH, Step 2 payments, and it's SEPA instant payments or instant payments everywhere around the world. And we're seeing that growth happen across all payment types, all around the world. The instant payments regulation, the IPR, is what's grabbed the attention of the conference. We're halfway through the implementation. We've got the receive-only side set from January this year, so that's already live. And now in October, we'll have send capability, where financial institutions will need to offer sending capability for instant payment products to their customers, their consumers, their corporations, etc.
Well, as you say, regulation is a really big topic at this year's event. And I want to talk about regulation readiness, as it were. How ready are we?
I think the IPR has actually been a bit of a victim of its own kind of plan for readiness. What I mean by that is the European Commission, the Council, said, okay, let's have the IPR mandate, and it was actually a much shorter time frame than many predicted for the regulation, not just to come in force, but then the dates and the milestones after that. And as a result, it's actually stemmed payment modernisation. We've spoken to quite a few financial institutions where they have reported to us that they stopped their modernisation projects in order to do a tactical approach to meet the regulation. And that's been a real shame. What was going to be modernised payment services, what was capable as a result of introducing the IPR, has actually been stopped. And now we're seeing banks just support the regulation from a tactical approach. So yes, they'll be ready. All banks will be ready with a service. There'll be a few stragglers for sure, but in the whole, they'll be ready. But will they be able to take advantage of the new services and the introduction? I think some banks will be, but in order to take advantage, a lot of banks need to modernise their infrastructure to be able to support the 24/7, the management of the core services, the fraud mitigation, and the various services you need for when you introduce instant payments.
All right, so modernisation is needed to meet those challenges around regulation, and there are some challenges that come with multiple schemes and standards as well. How can we meet those challenges? What's needed?
Yeah, you have to change the way you approach payments processing generally. And ACI, we're celebrating our 50th birthday this year as a company. We've been providing services to financial institutions, central banks, merchants, processors around the world for that much time. Every day we process 1 billion payments. What we are really looking at though is, what does payments processing in the next 20 years, 30 years look like? And the infrastructures have changed. So we see more cloud infrastructure introduced. We need those 24/7 services. We need always-on fraud protection, looking at various fraud elements of a payment. And we just launched at EBAday just this morning, our ACI Kinetic platform, which we feel sets the new standard for how payments should be processed.
And staying on the subject of fraud, what about APP fraud? What's the lay of the land there? And a bit of a punchy one, but is there a solution?
Well, let's just put some urban myths to rest. Instant payments does not equal instant fraud, and it doesn't increase fraud. What we're seeing within instant payments is a consolidation of fraud. So as more and more protections have come in on card payments, for example, and again, we do a lot of card payments processing around the world, we've seen the criminals target the new and unknown. And at the moment, that's instant payments. So they've backed away from very well protected card systems now and are now targeting instant payments. And of course, in order to solve for that, it's no one thing. We talk about the signals of fraud. So what signals are we looking at on a payment? So verification of pay, fantastic as one signal for whether a payment is fraudulent or not. The EBA, and I won't regurgitate them here, but the EBA talk about some of the statistics they've got that says 50% of fraudulent payment would pass a verification of payee check. So it's not that alone that's going to solve the problem. So we have to look at where's it coming from? Is this normal behaviour? Is the amount, strange for this type of customer? You have to bring all of these signals together. AI helps us do that, and then be able to identify whether a payment is fraud. And of course, you haven't got minutes to do that. In an instant payment, you've got literally the click of our fingers to make that decision point as to whether you're processing that payment.
And maybe just a little bit more on artificial intelligence. What's the role of artificial intelligence in helping fight against fraud?
Artificial intelligence can look at huge amounts of data. So if you only give it one piece of data, it won't make a better decision than a human brain or just a well-crafted subroutine. So you've got to be able to look at data holistically, look at these signals, look at the patterns within the country at the time, see what's happening elsewhere in particular regions in the country or even different countries, and those bring together that knowledge point that AI can make an instant decision on for an instant payment.
So many exciting developments to keep an eye on. I look forward to catching up and looking at those insights later down the line. But for now, Craig, I'll let you get back out there and share your insights with the rest of the delegates. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Hannah.